We opted not to leave this morning. And we're thinking it was a good decision.
You know what today is? Cherry pie and hot chocolate.
Hey, yeah.
And television.
Yeah. Okay, so we left Petersburg this morning at 5:30, something like that, quarter after 5. Anticipating getting the change of the tides so that we can just glide right down Wrangel Narrows, heading south. Our final destination is Craig, but we're gonna sightsee along the way to get there. And part of that is going to be El Capitan. Our first night, we're thinking is going to be Red Bay. So we're going to leave the Narrows and head along because it's shallow to get into the bay itself. So we have to wait for the next high tide, which will be, what did we say, 6:20 tonight or something like that?
Yeah, we're going to let the bay fill, and we're going to go in on the last hour of the rising tide, so we have enough water to clear the keel.
Yeah.
But once we get in there, it'll be a nice spot to hold on.
Protected.
And we may spend a day or two there.
Yeah. And so far, the trip down the Narrows this morning has been pretty quiet. Kestrel went by going north, and a couple of little fishing boats. One tender. We had some wind at one point, but now we're back to dead calm. So it's a good thing. Yesterday we had a thunderstorm cell move through Petersburg, and then it ended up at Juneau, and they had a cruise ship break loose, and one of our friends lost his skiff. And
yeah, thank goodness we waited.
Yeah.
Because you saw the weather report had changed, and there was a report of this squall coming through, which would have coincided with us crossing Sumner Strait. And we said, screw that.
We went back to bed.
We went back to bed, and then our friend Wade Rogers, he got caught in it in Gastineau Channel when it went through there. 60-knot winds. It almost knocked his boat down. It broke his skiff.
It actually, he said it lifted his skiff off the water and took it away.
Yeah, he was towing his skiff, and it was a brand new skiff, and it lifted it up off the water, broke the carabiner he had on with it, and off it went, you know, like Dorothy's house in Wizard of Oz. And so, yeah, pretty exciting, and said he saw his life flash before his eyes. We're glad we avoided that one.
When it hit Petersburg, we were tied up to the dock. We were out messing around with the lines on deck and putting up the drifter, anticipating calm weather for passing Sumner Strait. Sumner Strait. And first it was just a couple of little sprinkles, and then it got dark and dark.
And then Carrie said, "Oh crap!" And hurricane tied the drifter because there wasn't time to get it down.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I never thought that thing would come through like that.
Well, they didn't talk about it being like that.
No, they said there was a 70% chance it wouldn't occur. So we were like, okay, well, we won't go, but we'll get ready for tomorrow.
Right.
And when it came through, it was like it was cyclonic.
Yeah.
And it was lightning strikes. At 17 lightning strikes here on the island.
I think it was 15.
15, something like that.
On Mitkoff. Yeah, that's what they reported out of the weather service.
And I don't know what the wind was, but it was enough to heal us over 15 degrees or so. And
yeah, and somebody in a big yachty-ta had just come into the slip across the dock from us, and they were having a heck of a time.
Oh yeah, they tried to go out. There was 3-foot seas right there at the entrance of Wrangel Narrows, and they turned around, came back, and then it blew them over too.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. So we're glad we waited. The extra sleep was nice. We got more ice. Sage got a bath, so all's good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna turn this around and get you some sights of Wrangel Narrows, the southern end, and we'll...
Yeah, we already went through the gauntlet there by Papke's, between Papke's and Papke's Landing, where our friend John lives, and
past Blind Slough, where Gary
Blind
went
Slough.
fishing last year.
Quite a gauntlet to run there, and we've already done that. But
there's another section down here.
yeah, we're almost to it now.
Yeah.
Some traffic. Well, we're southbound, so we'll go on the right side of this island.
Yeah. So let me get you some scenery.
And we're at marker number 16.
Okay, we're almost done.
Almost done. Wrangel Narrows is a 21-mile-long passage between Mitkoff and Kupernoff Islands, which connects Sumner Strait to Frederick Sound. The borough of Petersburg sits on the north end of Wrangel Narrows and is Pacific Wonder's home port. Locals often refer to the Narrows as the river. Tidal currents in the river can reach 7 or 8 knots on extreme spring tides.
This guy turned at the wrong place. Ended up sitting on the bottom.
Timing passage to the Narrows at correct stages of tidal influence becomes critical to safe navigation during fully ebbing and flooding tides.
So this is what happens in the Wrangel Narrows. You get to a narrow part and a tug and a tow comes through.
Southeast Alaskan commerce depends heavily on shipping through the Wrangel Narrows. Mid-morning, we bust out of the Narrows into Sumner Strait and find a light breeze so we can drift. We lift the silk to sky and we're on our way to Prince of Wales.
If I drifted away at your expense, the wind and the waves were no defense. I made my choices, now I'll make one more. 'Cause I can't breathe without your air, I can't see without your stare. I can't need you more than I do now. So I'll turn the world upside down till I find you in a sleeping town or a busy city spinning round.
Bay is an extremely well-protected anchorage on the north end of Prince of Wales Island. Once inside, strong winds and driving rain seem innocuous. The trick is, you have to go run a gauntlet of shallow, narrow channels through unexposed wash rocks to enter the bay. Once inside, we enjoy the peace and solitude of 2 days of calm water and pouring rain.
We're going through the gauntlet at Red Bay.
Twisted and turning like a slinky on a spring. As we approach the gauntlet, Sage senses our apprehension, and she strolls the deck, in charge as usual, in search of sallow spots.
So, look what we found at Port Protection. Ice cream. What'd you get, Carrie?
Oh, I got a drumstick. Hey, look, you know what? You know what's cool about this? Well, you know what's cool about this, Sage? Besides Sage likes drumsticks. Where are we, Sage? We're in Port Protection, Alaska. Yeah, the famous place for the TV show, right? Port Protection. And unfortunately, we didn't plan on staying here, but they're having a Summer Solstice Music Festival tonight at 10 o'clock. But we'll be at El Capitan. So, but it's okay. We met Cherry and Mickey from the new show, Alaska Vibes, on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's no more pork protection on National Geographic Channel.
Nope.
But we met some of the other people, the old people from it up here, so it was all cool.
So
now we're going to waltz out of here with an ice cream in our hand and head for El Capitan. And Sage wants me to hurry up so she can get to it.
we are at the dock at Port Protection. We stopped in, got a couple gallons of gas. We've been a little carried away with watching TV. They also have a little general store. So we got some ice creams and some more paper towels. We are going to go ahead and head on out. And probably anchor at El Cap. Let me get you a picture of the dock. The store is up on top. You get fuel right down here at the dock. Lots of people's homes. Little skiffs for running around. And there's PW at the dock in Port Protection. Yeah. Oh, Sagey gets her part. What a mess.
And so we leave Port Protection astern as we continue our rain-soaked trip through the Tongass National Forest of the Alexander Archipelago of Alaska. Join us next time as we shed the rain and approach the famed El Capitan Passage in the brilliance of Alaskan sunshine. And don't forget, life is an adventure, and you're a participant. Until next time.